Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a level 20 Karlach build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. So using mods to increase the level cap to 20, you can create some very synergetic builds, which I'll be showing you a very strong one, starting off with the Barbarian. So we're going to keep Karlach as a Barbarian, it just makes the most sense, but with this build we'll be able to attack upwards of 5 times per turn, and it's actually more than 5 times per turn, but you'll see it's very powerful. So we'll start with the Barbarian here. With this, we get ourselves a rage for additional damage, and we can add our constitution modifier to our armor class. This is actually going to be the best way to do this because we'll get a very high armor class this way. Although you can go with a lower armor class because Karlach's actually interesting in the fact that lower armor class will draw attacks, so that can work very well for us. But we want to have our stats somewhat spread between our strength, dexterity, and our constitution. So there's a few different ways. We can actually go with a tavern brawler build, so this would be the ideal stat allocation for that. We can also dump our strength and go all in on our other stats. So something like this can also work well, as we can use Tavern Brawler to increase our constitution. And then we can put the rest of the points into our intelligence and wisdom and use a strength potion to make up the difference. So we'll do something like this just to show off how you can fully maximize the efficiency of this build, as we're going to use a strength potion to fully enhance the strength of this. But go with the previous stat spread. If you're not going to go that route, I figure if you're using mods, you're probably going to have a mod that'll allow you to get some extra strength potions too if you don't want to grind them out or buy them from Auntie Ethel. At level 2, we get ourselves Danger Sense, advantage on dexterity saving throws against spells, so Fireball, and gain advantage on attack rolls until the end of your turn, but enemies will have advantage on theirs against you. At level 3, we have to choose our subclass, and this is where things get really powerful for us. So we're going to go with the Berserker, which turns our Rage into a Frenzy. And Frenzy Strike and Enraged Throw are two of the attacks that we get alongside this, and we can make an improvised attack as a bonus action. So you got Enraged Throw, you got Frenzied Strike, and we got a lot of fun options here. Now, this is actually where things get funny, because we're going to swap out of the Barbarian at this point, and we're going to go in the Fighter. The Fighter just gives us more oomph with our attacks. We get the second win there, and we get a fighting style. So there's the defense, but we don't wear armor, so that actually won't apply to us. Dueling can be good if we wanted to use a shield and sword and board. Great weapon fighting if we're going to use 2 weapons, and I think it's either dueling or great weapon fighting. I would go with this route here. At level 2, we get ourselves Action Surge. You know the deal. This makes our class very strong. At level 3, we get to choose our subclass, and I guess it's just showing the Blood Archer here, so just a second. Magic. So, with this, the Battle Master makes sense, but so does the Eldritch Knight. With the Eldritch Knight, you can actually get the weapon bond, so you can use this to make it so that anytime you throw a weapon, it returns to your hand, which, as it sounds, would be great because we can do bonus action throws. However, there's not a lot of thrown weapons, because thrown weapons will be the ones that deal additional damage, so things that are typically thrown are like spears, but some of the ones that we want to throw are actually self-returning, so you don't have to go with the Eldritch Knight, and we can actually go with the Battle Master to maximize our damage. Riposte being really nice to be able to weaponize our reaction, doing a 1d8 extra damage on our attacks if someone attacks us and misses. And we also get the ever-powerful menacing attack, although we can get this through another means, but we're going to take that. And then I like Disarming Strike or Trip Attack. Rally is also really effective because you can use this to pick up downed allies, and it can't be counterspelled. So we're going to go with this here. Once we wake our way to level 4, we get ourselves another feat, and I think Dexterity Increase is going to be the best choice here. By this point, you're likely not going to have a very powerful option for Tavern Brawler, but we can take it right now, take the Constitution up to 18. And there's a Returning Pike in Act 1 that you can get. At level 5, we get our extra attack here, so this is big power spike, more damage. Level 6, we get to choose another feat, which I think this is where the Dexterity improvement can come into play for better armor class and initiative. And then we get our Superiority die up to 1d10 at level 7 here. And 2 more maneuvers, so Trip Attack being a fun one, and Disarming Strike to be able to knock weapons out of their hands. So that can be really effective crowd control. We get ourselves another feat, and this time we're going to max out our Dexterity. Again, Strength is going to be chosen by our Strength Potions. Level 9, you get Indomitable, which is really nice. And then at level 10, we get our subclass feature. Our Superiority die goes 1d10 for better damage, especially on a riposte. And we get to choose 2 more of these, so we already got the ones that we really wanted. I would not recommend Sweeping Attack because it only does 1d10 of damage to targets, which is not good. Pushing Attack can be nice to push targets back. If you're not going to hit a shot, Precision Attack can be good. Goading Attack can be also kind of nice, so go with one of these that you prefer. There's no real best answer because we got the ones we want. Now we made it to level 11. This gives us the 3 attacks, and this is the reason we went all the way up in the Fighter, because it's a huge spike to our damage. Now we're going to add in the Rogue, because we get ourselves some sneak attacks, which we can use on this weapon here that I'm holding, which is pretty crazy. And in addition to this, we also get bonus action abilities. But the main reason we're going with the Thief is we get the subclass. Of course, this happened again. So I had to uninstall a ton of mods to get this to work properly, but we finally got it working. So we're going to take the Thief here for the extra bonus action because we got a lot of ways to use our bonus action, and this becomes really strong. Now, for the last 3 levels, we actually got an interesting way of going about this. We can add in the Ranger, which gives us the options of a favorite enemy. It's really not a big deal to go with the Bounty Hunter for the Ensnaring Strike. And the Wasteland Wanderer, you're going to go with Cold or Poison because Karlach already has fire resistance. But the big thing that we're going for is the Gloomstalker, because this just gives us a big power spike as well at level 1. And it gives you like Ensnaring Strike and Hail of Thorns. You also get like Hunter's Mark if you want to use your multiple attacks against an enemy. This can be actually really good if you need to burst someone down. You also get a fighting style, so you can take something like the archery for ranged attacks or dueling, I guess, if you wanted to switch between a sword and board or a sword and shield. Defense, again, won't work since we don't have armor on as we're wearing clothing. But at level 3, we get to choose our subclass, the Gloomstalker, which gives us the Dread Ambusher, +3 to initiative, additional movement speed on the first turn, and we get an extra attack that deals 1d8 damage. We also get Dark Vision, the Hide, and Umbral Shroud, but that extra attack is really the reason we're going to take it. You can also get like Fog Cloud, which we can use to hide out in, or Hunter's Mark, so those are 2 nice ones. But Long Strider is also really effective if you don't have someone that already has Long Strider. Now you can see we got a lot of different attacks here. So what this boils down to, I like to go with the Bone Spike garb, which whenever you rage, targets will take psychic damage. And we also get the Menacing Attack. What's cool about this Menacing Attack is we can use it every single turn, which is huge. We also get our Cloak of Protection for increased armor class. The Bone Spike garb will give us temporary health whenever we rage, and we reduce all incoming damage and deal damage to the attacker. So this can be really good. We also can take something like the Amulet of Greater Health, which will give us even further health upward to 244 at level 20. And this will even give us a 23 armor class. But we can further boost our armor class if we want to use a different set of robes, because this one isn't actually the strongest in terms of the armor that it can provide. We can go with the Vested Soul Rejuvenation, which gives us that unarmed strike. Well, this will put our armor class up to 25, which is pretty good. You don't have to go this route. There's also some other ones that we can go with for clothing. You do want to stay in clothing, though. We don't want to put armor on because that'll tank our armor class. You can see there why not. The Bone Spike is nice, though, for the temporary health. And we do Constitution modifier piercing damage. So that becomes 6 now that we have the Amulet of Greater Health on. The Ballless armor is nice, too, if we want to go full piercing damage, but we lose our Constitution-based armor class, which really does suck because we want to have that nice boost. Even Barbarian clothing, the base Karlach outfit is probably one of the best ones here, so you could also go with that. You can even put on the Wave Mother's robe, which doesn't really fit thematically because we already have fire damage resistance and we don't need Create or Destroy Water. The Vested Soul Rejuvenation, though, is probably the best defensive one if you don't go with the Bone Spike garb, which does give us that nice temporary health, so that's really the best probably option there. Bone Spike gloves will ignore resistance to any physical damage type. But I actually think that going to Helldust Gloves can give us even better damage because this will add 1d6 to fire damage on our attacks. And also, we got the Bone Spike Boots, which will get a +1 armor class as long as we're not wearing armor. And we get increased jump distance with the Brutal Leap, which can knock targets prone. And then for our rings, we actually want to use the Ring of Flinging, if at all possible. I believe that's on Gale right now. Let's go grab that. So with the Ring of Flinging, we do additional 1d4 bonus damage with throws. And then we also get the Killer Sweetheart for critical hits. I like the Dancing Breeze. This has an extra reach on it. It's a finesse weapon, so we can sneak attack with it, which is kind of funny. So you got the sneak attack option there from the rogue. But if I'm being honest, the best damage option is probably still Nyrelna. This is just the goated weapon. It's also a versatile weapon, so we can hold it with 2 hands and deal additional damage with it. You can also just one-hand and use a shield. If you wanted to go the shield route, we'd probably swap out the boots. Because with a shield, then that also will increase our armor class to 25. And then if we swap out the boots, that'll put our armor class back up to 26. So that can be a really strong armor class going this route. But we do miss out on the Brutal Leap. So that's a nice bonus action, can knock targets prone. So yeah, you can go with either way you want to go with this. The Nyrelna is really strong of a weapon. You can also go with a 2-handed weapon, but if you do that, you're not going to be focusing on throwing. You don't have to throw, but it is an option that does boost our damage quite a bit. So if you're going to go with the shield, it does change things around. I'll go with the non-shield version just so you can see what that looks like. So we'll just go with that 23 armor class, which is more than enough because we got a ton of health. So getting into combat, this is what it'll look like. So we'll get things started with just a bonus action attack this time, because otherwise we use up our action, and we don't want to do that. So I'll just go with an offhand crossbow attack, and we'll just hit this target here to get things started and to get into the fight. If you start a fight with an action, it does use up your full action, so you can't actually get the multiple attacks off. So with this, we had one attack, we got 3 more for one action, 6 total. So 6 plus 2, so it's 8. That's crazy. And then we also have action surge for 3 more. So that is 11 attacks on a turn, plus our dread ambusher for 12 attacks. It's crazy. So I'll show off the carnage that we can ensue with this. We do have some pretty fun attacks, so we do want to use our attacks whenever possible. We also got this menacing attack here, so we can use that without using up our superiority die, because the superiority die are nice because whenever we use them, they get additional damage, and riposte is going to be the best choice for that. So I'll just go with a trip attack here. So we'll bonk them, knock them prone, and then we can follow up with another attack on... we'll just go after all the targets here. So boom. We don't have the illithid abilities, otherwise this would have been knocking them out with the Call the Weak. We can also go with Disarming Strike too, which can knock their weapon out of their hands. And we also have the Zephyr Flash too, which is really strong, so I'll just use that to push forwards, deal a little bit extra thunder damage to targets, knock out that healer. And then I guess that did use up our full action. I should have probably not done that. I probably also should have raged first. That was the smart thing to do. So this will use up one of our bonus actions, so just be mindful of that. And we'll rage. This does psychic damage to the targets that are nearby us too. And then we have our dread ambusher attack as well. So these targets are really weak. They're bleeding too, so this one will likely bleed out here soon. So I'll just go and attack this target. Critical hit, and that was pretty good damage. And then we also have action surge, so we can repeat and just rinse, wash, repeat. So let's go with normal attacks, but we can also go with throwing attacks. So with this, we'll go with a throw, and we'll hit this target because they have more health, and we'll throw our Nirolna there. We do have disadvantage, but that's fine. This will create the thunder wave that'll attack that target. We summoned in more guards because we accidentally attacked the humans there. So womp womp, didn't mean to do that, but I guess that took them out. And we can, I guess, just go with another... I'll just go with a normal attack here. So we'll attack this target. Boom. That should take them out. Yeah, 36. Perfect. And then we'll finalize this enemy here. So that'll finish them off. We can also use the menacing attack too, but no real need to. Just wanted to show that off. So another target down. We took out a lot of them that turn. We'll just let them all come towards us. Again, if you have Call the Weak, this becomes really crazy because the illithid abilities can just drain people very, very fast. So with our armor class, we got a pretty good chance of survival. We don't have the increased armor class from a shield, but that is more than all right. And you can see here, this target attacked us, and we got a riposte, which we can use the executioner on. As you can see, that just blasted them away real good. So it's strong. Riposte is really nice. That's why I like saving superiority die for that reason, because with that, you can just take people out. Like, that was a target that had full health, and they attacked once, and our Bone Spike Garb actually hit them for 6 damage, which was enough then to push them over the edge with that final attack from riposte. So what we like to see is groups of enemies like this, where we can just go ahead with our throwing Nirolna. So this target in the middle is perfect because then we can hit all those around it. And then we'll follow up with another throw because the damage from throws is just really high. So bonk, we'll hit them again, and it returns to our hand. They lost a bit of health. We lost that Myrmidon there. And I'll just go with the main hand attack to hopefully, it didn't take it out. I probably should have the superiority die. We also got bonus action throws, so we can do those too. We got the brutal leap, which we can use to jump around. And we can also do an improvised melee attack as well if we want to. So we got lots of options for attacks here. We also got a sneak attack too, which we can use if there's a target that we have advantage against. So none in this instance, but typically you would have something that you'd be able to get that off on. And we'll finish this target off with an extra attack. So boom, stab them. And then we'll go with the throw here, and I'll throw it at, I'll throw Nirolna at this target here. I think it should be able to hit that one, and yeah, potentially those there. Perfect, that took them out. And then I guess we'll try to hit this target. Hopefully that's enough range to be able to get that Nirolna big boom. And it wasn't, that's fine though. So then we also got our Frenzied Strike, which we can use, or we got the Enraged Throw, and we can pick up an item, or we can just use our Nirolna for another throw. So boom. That took them out, and then we can follow it up. I could have also just done a crossbow attack there, but we'll follow it up with another enraged throw and throw our Nirolna at this target's likely to most easiest to take out. That knocked them prone too. Perfect. The extra fire damage on our gloves did do numbers. So we just have one more target to fight against here. And yeah, I don't know why I moved the camera there. Yeah, they didn't do anything for whatever reason. So that just gives us the perfect opportunity to continue tossing our Nyrulna. The returning pike earlier in the game is probably the best way to go about throwing, because the damage on that is really great. But we also got bonus action attacks if you got hand crossbows. So while they don't do a lot of damage, they can be nice if you don't have anything else to go with. But typically the throwing attack is going to be your first option for defense. That was a critical block, but still did the thunder damage, so that's fine. You also got a bunch of items if you just want to throw a bunch of stuff at the enemy, but that took out that enemy really quickly. We only took 1 point of damage. Pretty crazy, and we dished out a whole lot of hurting. So yeah, this level 20 Karlach build is very strong. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It completely kicks butt. So yeah, hope you have a great day. We'll see you all in the next video, and hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Cheers.